Hey folks, this is Vincent Vinny Jr. with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to talk X-Wing. Now the last time we talked X-Wing, we talked about our favorite ships and our favorite pilots. Today we're going to talk about our favorite upgrade cards. Now before we get started, it's important to note that my camera is not a dedicated video camera. It can only record in 10-minute increments, so we're going to be pausing in between each category. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and just move on to our favorite elite pilot upgrade card. The three that you picked were Predator, Expose, and Marksmanship. Why do you like Predator?
Because it's good against low pilots, especially like the TIE fighters, since TIE fighters don't have much.
For those of you that don't have a photographic memory, Predator, when attacking, you may re-roll one attack die. If the defender's pilot skill value is 2 or lower, you may instead re-roll up to 2 attack dice. I actually picked Predator as one of my 3 favorite elite upgrade cards too. The ability to re-roll just without having to spend any sort of action is just incredible. So Predator, it's a 3-point upgrade. This is just a no-brainer, I think. Predator is just an awesome card. What's the next one you have? Expose?
Yes. Until the end of this round, you may increase your primary value by 1 and increase your agility.
So you can increase your primary weapon value by 1, but you have to give up an agility to do that. And that's an action. So that means you can't take a target lock and you can't take a focus. You're restricted to just using that action. Now, if you have, say, another ship that can pass a focus token onto you, or maybe a target lock onto you.
I know why Rain does that. Dutch Vander.
Dutch Vander can do that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that Expose is great. Let's say if you use it when no one has a firing solution on you, like if no one can attack you, then using this might be a good idea.
Or if you have a card that has good agility already, like E-Wing. E-Wing has 3
Well,
agility.
yeah, the E-Wing...
You can give up for the 4 attack, but give up to 2.
And the A-Wing has 3 agility as well, so giving up an extra defense die there...
Would increase it to X-Wing.
So yeah, action's not a bad card. I mean, I would use it, but again, I don't like the fact that it's an action. And if you are going to use that action, you're giving up a focus or a target lock. And just to me, I would rather have a target lock or a focus as opposed to an extra attack die. Some will crunch the numbers and say, you know, well, this extra attack die, that's a 4 in 8 chance of rolling a hit, because on an attack die there are 4 hits
1 critical
and 1 critical. How many focus? 2 focus?
I believe so, and like 1 blank.
There's 1 critical and 1 blank or something like that. Off the top of my head, I don't remember. But yeah, so some may argue that the Exposed card would actually be better.
Some cards might help you, like Horn and Soul's ability. Increase your attack die by 1. You can roll 1 blank. That would help you.
What's the next one you have? Marksmanship?
Yep. When attacking this round, you may change one of your focus to a critical and all your other focus to a hit. So
basically, it's a focus token that allows you to get a critical out of that. Now, the nice thing about Marksmanship, especially with Koran Horn, you can use this ability twice. Instead of it being a token that you spend 1 time and that's it, Marksmanship stays with you for the rest of the round. So if you have Koran Horn, who can fire during the end phase if he chooses to, he could use Marksmanship twice, which was really cool. So yeah, those are your 3. Again, I've got Predator, so we already talked about that. Opportunist, when attacking, if the defender does not have any focus or evade tokens, you may receive 1 stress token to roll 1 additional attack die. You cannot use this ability if you have any stress tokens. Now, on an ability like this on, say, Wes Jansen, who has the ability to strip the opponent of a focus or evade, or whatever the case may be. I can't remember what he can strip, but I think it's a focus or a target lock or something.
Yeah, he does evade, focus, or target lock.
Okay, so this Opportunist card would go great with Wes Jansen, because with Wes Jansen, you're stripping that away, and yeah, this Opportunist would kick in. So I like that card. It's a little situational, but it's still pretty powerful, having that extra attack die. Even though you were still receiving stress, I still think if you're piloting a ship that isn't very maneuverable anyway, yeah. Outmaneuver is my last one. When attacking a ship inside your firing arc, if you are not inside that ship's firing arc, reduce its agility value by 1 to a minimum of 0. Great card to use like if you're in a TIE Phantom where you're able to get behind the opponent easily and not have to worry about thinking too hard about getting behind somebody or to the side of somebody.
But some ships are accepted for that.
Like on a Y-wing, for example, who has a difficult time trying to fly at all, like maneuver or bend or whatever, like, you know, an A-wing or a TIE Interceptor or a TIE Advanced, one that can do barrel rolls and, you know, sort of get off to the side.
But the turret would automatically hit them.
Assuming you have a blaster turret on the enemy ship. But still, the outmaneuver card, the ability to reduce someone's agility without having to spend any sort of action. I like the passive abilities. I can't help it.
Some ships, like, attack, like the firing arc is 660, so
right.
It's not going to work.
Well, it does. Actually, it does. On the Millennium Falcon, for example, just because the Millennium Falcon can fire in 360 degrees, there's still that forward firing arc that is used for secondary weapons. Outmaneuver only... That counts toward that. So while the Millennium Falcon can shoot 360, if you were behind the Millennium Falcon, outmaneuver will still kick in.
Or if it was like a huge ship like Corn Corvette, that Corn Corvette doesn't have a forward firing arc.
Well, I don't know about the Corellian Corvette.
It doesn't have a forward firing arc. It's a 360, but it doesn't have an actual firing arc.
All right. Well, that concludes the elite talents, and we'll go ahead and move on to the next category here. Okay, the next category we're going to talk about is the turret. Now, there's not too many cards under this category. It's either ion cannon turret or blaster turret.
There's a new one coming out, I believe. The auto blaster.
The auto blaster turret.
It's coming with the new wave.
The new wave, wave 6.
The most wanted.
The most wanted expansion.
With the Y.
So, why did you pick the blaster turret over the ion cannon turret?
I believe the blaster turret could work for like a Y-wing. Y-wings even don't have less attack. That 360 can give them very powerful.
Well, the ion cannon turret can attack in 360 too. What do you like about the blaster turret?
It's stronger, and plus you can still have your critical, even though blaster can. Like,
right. Well, see, with an ion cannon, the way this works, for those of you again that don't have a photographic memory, with an ion cannon turret, it's 3 attack dice, range 1 to 2. As an attack one ship, even outside your firing arc. If this attack hits the target ship, the ship suffers 1 damage and receives 1 ion token, then cancel all dice results. That is a cost of 5 to use. The blaster turret is a cost of 4. Same number of attack dice, 3, range 1 to 2, attack focus. Spend 1 focus token to perform this attack against 1 ship. So that's the main reason why I prefer the ion cannon turret over the blaster. With the ion cannon turret, you don't need to spend a target lock or a focus in order to fire this thing. Granted, you're giving up your primary attack, but with an ion cannon turret, if you take the focus action, you can use your focus or your target lock in addition to your ion cannon turret to make sure it hits. With the blaster turret, you have to make sure that you take a focus action in order to use this thing at all.
But it is powerful for
But at the same time, it is more powerful. If you can get 3 crits on this thing,
you're pretty much...
it's more powerful than 1 hit and 1 ion. So
the ion could set up for like a torpedo attack.
Well, I like the ion because not only, I mean, granted, it only does 1 damage, but it helps to control the enemy's movements. They are forced to go 1 straight ahead.
Unless it's a large ship.
If it's a large ship, they require 2 ion tokens.
Or a huge ship which only needs 3.
Yeah, well, still, I mean, I like the ion cannon turret for the fact that you can control the enemy movement and you'll know where they're going to go next move. So you can get yourself into a nice position on the following round, get behind them or whatever the case may be.
Like if you use those advanced torpedoes with only range 1 but 5 attack die, the ion cannon turret can disable the ship while it would be disabled, so it only moves straight. Then you can get range 1 and just blast them with it.
We'll be covering the torpedoes. We're going to sneak in another category real quick before we run out of time. The next one is the heavy, what is it, the heavy weapon? Or?
I believe it's like a weapon.
It's the heavy weapon.
Cannon, I believe.
Well, it's the, it's not a turret, but it's a cannon. It's the one I picked was the heavy laser cannon. 4 attack dice, range 2 to 3, attack 1 ship. Immediately after rolling your attack dice, you must change all of your crits to hits. So, I don't like using the heavy laser cannon on a ship that already has 3 attack dice for their primary weapon because that extra 1, But on a ship that has or uses less attack dice, like that would to
Dash
me,
render.
the Tidarian shuttle, or the Lambda shuttle, does that use 3 attack dice? I can't remember.
I believe so.
Oh, okay. Well, the nice thing about the heavy laser cannon is that at range 3, it's a secondary weapon, so the defender does not get to roll an extra defense die. So that's one of the nice things about the heavy laser cannon. What did you pick?
Ion cannon.
The ion cannon.
Attack one ship. If the attack hits, the defender suffers 1 damage.
Same thing as the ion cannon turret.
Range 1 to 3.
Range 1 to 3. So this ion cannon turret has a bit more flexibility when it comes to attacking. The downside, you can only roll 3 attack dice instead of 4. On the plus side, this card only costs 3, whereas this card costs a whopping 7. And when you think about it, a Z95, the cheapest one, I think the Bandit, is only 12 points. So this card is more than half of what a Bandit would cost.
Yeah.
So you could like add this heavy laser or a Bandit, you pick, you know. So if you're going to go with the heavy laser cannon, you sort of have to commit to making sure that that ship survives. So yeah, that goes ahead and resolves that category. We've got the turret and the heavy weapon here. And I'm not sure what we'll move on to next. I guess we'll go with the system upgrade cards. So let's take a break. We'll pick those and we'll be right back. And we're back. We're going to go ahead and talk about these system upgrades. Now, we picked 2 of our favorites, and we ended up picking the same things. There's not a lot to choose from. There is the fire control system. After you perform an attack, you may acquire a target lock on the defender. I've come to appreciate this card as of late, flying a TIE Phantom, for example. Being able to get a target lock on someone, and then on the next round take a focus action. The combined oomph of a target lock and a focus is just unbelievable. Again, on attack die, there's like 3 hit, 1 crit, 2 focus, and 2 blank, or something like that. So you're guaranteed a 6 out of 8 chance of hitting when you've got a target lock and a focus. And this fire control system will allow you to do that.
Especially with multiple, it's like 3 TIE Phantoms.
With 3, well, yeah.
Yeah, that would be powerful.
3 TIE Phantoms. Well, that, like the last game that we just played, I had a fire control system on each of my 3 TIE Phantoms.
And you destroyed X-Wings for no reason.
Well, what do you mean no reason? We're on the opposite side.
That Z95 was the longest ever lasted the longest. Was the Z95 head otter.
The other one we picked was the sensor jammer. When defending, you may change one of the attacker's hit results to a focus result. The attacker cannot re-roll the die with the changed result. I like the sensor jammer because it forces your opponent to use a focus when they may not need to. For example, let's say a Y-wing attacked and got a hit and a blank. If you use the sensor jammer, you can force that 1 hit to go to a focus. And even if the Y-wing had a focus token, you're forcing them to use it so they can't use it for defense, or whatever the case may be. So I kind of like that. You like it for the same reason, I guess?
Yeah, but also it could be used against like lower ships. Like Y-wing can be used for like the turret can smash people easily. Mm-hmm. But it could be used like an A-wing. A-wings do have that because they have special jamming equipment. Well, you could use that on an A-wing since A-wings don't have like a 360-degree turret.
Well, I like this because you can use it for the entire round. So if you're being attacked multiple times, you don't have to spend any tokens or anything like that to use a sensor jammer. It's a passive ability.
And also against like a high level, like an A-wing, for example. The A-wing has like 3 evade, though, so it'll help them against.
Cool.
Defending.
So I think we have some time. We're going to go ahead and do our favorite bombs. There's only 3 to choose from: seismic charge, proton bombs, and proximity mines. You picked proximity mines.
Yes.
Let's see. As an action, discard this card to drop 1 proximity mine token. When a ship executes a maneuver, if its base or maneuver template overlaps this token, the bomb detonates, or the token detonates. So, if I remember right, the proximity mine will force the ship to roll 3 attack dice, and they have to resolve that. And you like this? Why? You like this?
Because it's good against ambushing. I guess it's like an area like it's like in the middle, though. And
if you've got 2 asteroids on either side, and there's a very popular lane or path right in the middle, and then they'll be forced to hit something.
And you could like set an ambush, like they have to go around. You could get all your people to go on one side, so they ambush all those.
Great against larger ships that have a large base.
Or like large ships like TIE fighters. Those TIE swarm. That would be
TIE
good.
swarms that are forced to stay together and take up more area because they're trying to stay together. This might work too.
Yeah, they could help against defense, so they can't go around you.
But you said, do the rebel ships have bomb slots?
I don't know. None of the ships we have don't.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. So only the Empire, but still.
Unless you counted them as wanted, the news coming out, they added I believe a title or something.
Oh, okay.
But they
added... Is that on the Y-Wing, or?
Yeah, Y-Wing. It added
on the most wanted, it's the expansion coming up. It's the Scum faction.
It added the thing. It only works for Y-Wings only.
Oh, okay. I picked the proton bombs. When you reveal a maneuver dial, when you reveal your maneuver dial, you may discard this card to drop one proton bomb token. Now, the proton bomb and the seismic charge work roughly the same way. The difference is the cost and the power. The seismic charge, I think, only costs 2 points to equip to your ship, whereas this thing costs 5. The nice thing about the proton bombs is that it forces the ships within range 1 to deal a face-up damage card. Through the shields, even. So, if you're a TIE bomber and you happen to set this off in the middle of a Z-95 swarm, they only have 2 hull to begin with. So, if you force them to draw a face-up damage card, and if it happens to be a direct hit, that Z-95 is instantly destroyed regardless if they have shields.
Like a hull upgrade, I guess.
Well, yeah, hull upgrade, but still.
Some can add hull upgrades.
So, yeah, I like the proton bomb as opposed to seismic charge. Okay, so I guess we'll take a break here and we'll move on to the next category, so stay tuned. Alright, next up are the missiles. We picked 2 of our favorite missiles, proton rockets and assault missiles. Why do you like the proton rockets?
They only range 1 only to attack die, but if you have like a high ship like an A-Wing, the abilities may roll additional attack die equal to your agility value, maximum of 3 additional attack dice.
So 2 attack dice, range 1. But you get an extra attack die for every agility that you have. So if you have this on an A-Wing, you'll get 5 attack dice instead of 2. So that is pretty powerful. But that's at range 1, though. You have to be pretty darn close to pull that off.
A-Wings are within mobility, so they can go at range 1.
And you like the assault missiles?
Yes. Spend your target lock and destroy this target from this attack. If this attack hits each other ship at range 1, defender suffers 1 damage.
Now, it's a high cost. It costs 5 points. But it has 4 attack dice that can be fired at range 2 to 3. Great against TIE swarms. Or any ships in formation, for that matter. So this is like a great anti-swarm weapon. So I picked cluster missiles and concussion missiles. I like the cluster missiles for the fact you can fire them twice. And I think they're great against ships that have a very low agility value. It's sort of like a 1-2 punch kind of thing. 3 attack dice, range 1 to 2, cost of 4. Concussion missiles, spend your target lock and discard this card to perform this attack. You may change one of your blank results to a hit result. If you have a focus already on top of a target lock, there's a good chance that you'll hit. 4 attack dice is nothing to sneeze at, especially if one of them happens to turn up blank. Again, you can change that to a hit. Range 2 to 3, and it only costs 4. So I don't know, the cluster missiles and the concussion missiles, they have a lot of oomph behind them. And since you can only use missiles once, you want to make sure that you're going to get the most bang for your buck. Assault missiles are nice too, but with a cost of 5, I don't know, it's a little high.
Yeah, well, they have the same attack as cluster, but they can just smash every
right. I get, but they're situational as opposed to concussion missiles.
This can give you 5 attack die if you have a high.
But you have to be at range 1 for those proton rockets.
Unless
that's
you have like a TIE bomber, like Major Reimer right there.
Well, Major
Reimer 1 to 2.
Major Reimer does missile.
And yeah, he has missiles as well. He does 2 torpedoes.
So Major Reimer could use the proton rockets, but his agility is only 2, isn't it?
Yeah, she only needs 4.
So he gets 4 attack die, but still, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Alright, since we have the time, we'll go into our favorite torpedoes. There's not a lot of torpedoes to choose from, so we only chose 1. What did you pick now? The
Ion.
Ion torpedo. That's a relatively new one.
Spend your target lock to discard this card to perform this attack. When this attack hits, The defender in each ship at range 1 requires 1 ion token.
Now that scares me because if you have friendly ships at range 1 of that attack...
no, unless you're like facing like high swarm or something.
Well, yeah, it's again, you like your anti-swarm weapons. The assault missile is great anti-swarm. The ion torpedoes would be the same deal.
Like you could use like a B-wing. Like
well,
yeah, like tons of X-wings.
X-wings don't have concussion missiles, only proton torpedoes. So this ion torpedo is sort of like the complement to the assault missiles on the missile side.
Yeah, but you could have like 4 X-wings, but you can. This is 2 to 3, so you can a swarm right there. 2 or 3, you wouldn't be affected using this. So you can just not all of them. So you can just like smash with one push.
The cost is 5. It's a high cost, but if you can again, it's very situational. But if you're fighting against a TIE swarm, now TIE swarms are very popular, or at least they used to be. I don't know if they still are anymore, but TIE swarms are still pretty darn effective, especially if you got Howl Runner in there. You know,
or
doing
like,
her thing.
Because all of them have like 3 evade, and plus they have 2 attacks. I want to see what TIE Interceptor Swarm would look like.
TIE Intercept, I don't know.
There'd be 3.
They're glass cannons. They're
just stronger.
Well, the downside is unless you had Howl Runner with them, you know, I don't think they would be as effective. But they have 3 attack dice instead of 2.
They are effective actually. There's some abilities like there's one that instead. It would do, if you get destroyed, you don't get straight into the end phase. You can still attack even though you're dead.
Nice. I picked proton torpedoes, the staple. 4 attack dice, range 2 to 3. You may change one of your focus results to a crit. Since you often only get 1 action on your turn, you have to take a target lock in order to use this thing. Having this side effect, you may change one of your focus to a crit, is a nice touch because more than likely you're going to roll at least 1 focus. And granted, you're not going to have any focus tokens because you had to take a target lock. Now, if you were lucky and you took a target lock on a prior turn, then you took a focus, then you played this card, or if you happen to have a friendly ship that can assign you a focus token, that won't matter as much. But in most cases, you only get the 1 chance.
HDK 290.
The Hawk 290.
Yeah, they'll kind of like keep throwing on the focus tokens.
Yeah, the Moldy Crow upgrade, I think it.
And then there's like a guy who will pass on the focus to another person. For the focus.
Yeah. So there you have it. I think that's our missiles and torpedoes. And stay tuned. We'll move on to the next category. Alright, now we're going to talk about our favorite crew upgrades. We'll start with you, R2-D2. That's an interesting choice. At the end of the end phase, if you have no shields, you may recover 1 shield and roll 1 attack die. On a hit result, randomly flip one of your face-down damage cards face up and resolve it. So you're taking a chance. You can resolve 1 shield or restore 1 shield, but there's a chance that you'll have to take a critical hit, assuming that you already have a damage card. So that's an interesting choice. But I think you were saying, though, that if you don't have a damage card, then that might come in handy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mercenary Co-Pilot. When attacking at range 3, you may change one of your hit results to a crit result. Great for heavy laser cannons that force you to change your crits to hits. But with the Mercenary Co-Pilot, you can change one of them back to a crit. Is that why you like it, or?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Flight Instructor. When defending, you may re-roll one of your focus results. If the attacker's pilot skill value is 2 or lower, you may re-roll one of your blank results instead. So why do you like this one now?
Because it can give you extra, because when defending, you may roll 1, but if you're 2 or lower, you may roll 1 blank. In case you get a blank and you're about to get killed, like a TIE fighter, even though you only get 1 hit and you only have 1 hull left. If you can use that, you get a blank. You can just.
I suppose that would be good against. I mean, that would be good if you didn't have a focus token.
Yeah.
Like if you took an evade action.
Or unless you're 2 or lower, you can roll one of your blanks. As a focus token.
Right.
So good.
Tactician. I actually have Tactician as well. After you perform an attack against a ship inside your firing arc at range 2, that ship receives 1 stress token. You're basically stun locking them, forcing them to take a stress at range 2.
Yeah, like the last video we did.
Yeah,
he just kept using Tactician with Tactician.
I like Tactician. I can't help. I mean,
he used like 3 different Tacticians.
Granted, you can get rid of the Tactician on the following turn by just using a green maneuver, or the stress token. But at the same time, you're limited. If you're forced to use a green maneuver if you want to get rid of that stress token and take an action. And that sort of limits what kind of actions you can take. Instead of taking a K turn, for example, you're forced to take either a white...
like an A-wing that has like 5 straight green maneuver.
Right.
That's weird.
But most ships with a green maneuver are either 1 or 2 slight turn, 3. Whatever the case is.
Sometimes it could be
so that limits their maneuverability if you want to get rid of that stress token. I have the Rebel Captive as one of mine. Once per round, the first ship that declares you the target of an attack immediately receive 1 stress token. If you're going to be attacked a lot, Rebel Captive is the way to go, especially with large ships like Lambda class shuttle.
Decimator.
That's a good one. Lambda shuttles aren't too maneuverable, so having this. Well, the Decimator is an obvious choice with that. Again, it limits the enemy and what they can do.
Unless you use Tactician.
For the following turn.
Unless you use Tactician.
Right. Recon Specialist. When you perform a focus action, assign 1 additional focus token to your ship. Now, the rules state that you can't take the same action twice if you have the ability to take 2 actions. But there's nothing to stop you from using the same token twice, whatever the case is. So if you get assigned an extra focus token, you can use it, 1 for attack, 1 for defense, and using Recon Specialist in conjunction with someone that can pass off those focus tokens, like the Hawk 290, I think there's a card that lets you do it. It's very powerful. Great support ability. Lastly,
I believe there is a ability that allows you to take 2 the same action.
Well, it's this gives you an additional focus token.
So there's a card I used before that had, you can give another, if you have a focus, you can get another focus token and for like defense or something.
I can't remember. There's so many upgrade cards.
Yeah, so I don't remember anymore.
Lastly, Gunner. There's Luke Skywalker, but Luke Skywalker I think is Rebel only. Gunner is a little bit more universal. It's only 5 points as opposed to 7. I think Luke is 7. After you perform an attack that does not hit, immediately perform a primary weapon attack. You cannot perform another attack this round. Great card to use if you have a firing solution on someone. I mean, it's okay if you have, like, say, a blaster turret.
It's good in case, like, an island.
But you have to have a primary weapon firing solution in order to use this card. So if you have a blaster turret and you're shooting someone outside your arc, you couldn't use this. Right.
If you didn't hit it, then you could.
Right. So yeah, those are our crew upgrades. I think next we'll move on to the modifications. So stay tuned. Modifications. Okay, we each picked 3. Which ones did you pick?
Advanced Cloaking. Advanced
Cloaking Device, Munitions Failsafe, and Stygian Particle Accelerator. Why the Advanced Cloaking? I picked it 2.
After you perform an attack, you may perform a free cloak action. Only TIE Phantom, though.
Yeah, TIE Phantom. Still, the Advanced Cloaking Device is just awesome. Again, cloaking in this game really allows you to move around the field, especially with the barrel roll action. I mean, you get that in addition to being able to decloak and move, 2 straight or 2 to the right or 2 to the left.
If you're like a higher highest skill, like it would be like a 9 that was the highest. You could perform an attack and get cloak, so you get extra defense die.
Right, you could cloak as soon as you attacked, and then you get extra defense die on the return fire.
Yeah.
Not bad. Munitions Failsafe, it's sort of like your insurance card. When attacking with a secondary weapon that does not hit, that instructs you to discard it, you can keep your proton. So, for example, if you attack with a proton torpedo and you miss and you have Munitions Failsafe, you don't have to give up your proton torpedo. So again, it's like an insurance kind of card. Your Stygian Particle Accelerator, again for the TIE Phantom, it's a modification. When you either decloak or perform a cloak action, you may perform a free evade action. It's 2 points less as far as cost goes. I like having that a free evade action. It's really nice. TIE Phantoms by themselves only have 2 agility. So having the extra evade is pretty cool, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, pretty good. I think it would be good against... Like, if you had those 2 together.
I wish. You can only have 1 modification.
Yeah, but if you had those 2, then you'd be like...
You'd be unstoppable.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I already picked the Advanced Cloaking Device too, so I'm going to skip that one. B-Wing/E2. Your upgrade bar gains the crew upgrade icon. This is for the B-Wing only. The ability to put a crew card onto a B-Wing. The B-Wing by itself is pretty darn powerful. It's got a lot of hit points. Attack power is 3, so it's got it's already a beast. And if you can add a crew slot to that and give it some really cool abilities, this is like a powerhouse that just can't be stopped.
They were the B-22 was actually another ship made, the same makers who did the B-Wing. They wanted to do so they added a gunner so that the gunner can get more kills. They'll get more kills than the regular pilot and gunner.
And the nice thing is this card is only 1 point, so it's not expensive at all to field to your fleet. Lastly, staple, shield upgrade. Combine that with, say, an R2-D2 ability, or some sort of card that allows you to regenerate shields, and then this on top of it. Having an extra shield, it's a nice filler upgrade, I think.
Like R2-P9 and I believe R2-D2 with like a Y-wing.
Yeah.
Y-wings are really good at it. Their hull is high and their shields are sort of high. But if you had that, you would get 5 shields and 4.
Well, like I said, it's a great filler card. If you can't figure out what to do with 4 points, I mean, granted, you've got a hull upgrade that is 3 points. However, with a shield, critical hits don't matter. With a hull, critical hits do matter. So I would rather have an extra shield than an extra hull. But that's just me. So, those are the modification upgrades. And I think next we'll move on to the stromechs. Okay, stromechs. Which 2 did you pick?
R2-D2.
R2-D2 and R5-P9. Both of these stromechs allow you to regenerate shields, right?
Yeah.
R2-D2 allows you to regenerate a shield when you use a green maneuver. R5-P9 allows you to spend a focus token at the end of the combat phase to gain a shield. So, great cards. In fact, I think those 2 are my favorite. But I went ahead and chose 2 that... I guess just to sort of give a little variety to this segment, I picked R5K6. After spending your target lock, roll 1 defense die. On an evade result, immediately acquire a target lock on the same ship. So basically you can, it's sort of like that system upgrade that we covered earlier, where you can get a target lock immediately after performing an attack. Only you have to gamble for this one. You have to roll an evade result. But being able to get a target lock on someone right after having one is pretty powerful. That's only 2 points. The R2 astromech, you may treat all 1 and 2 speed maneuvers as green maneuvers.
Oh my god, that'd be good again.
Great for ships that give you some sort of buff whenever you use a green maneuver. So if you do like a 1 hard turn or whatever the case is, whatever ship you're flying, or a 2 hard turn, you can make that a green maneuver. Get rid of a stress token when you normally wouldn't be able to.
I believe there's usually a ship that does 2 K-turns. If you had that astromech, you can do a green 2 K-turn.
A green K-turn? Is that possible? I don't know.
It would with this, because there's 1 and 2s, and there is a 2 K-turn.
Is there? Which ship is it? Do you remember?
I don't remember, but...
Is it a B-wing maybe?
No. I think it may be an A-wing, actually.
We'll have to look. Alright, we have...
There are 1 K-turns, though.
1 K-turn?
Yeah. One of the cards gives you, instead, you can do, like, it was a random card, you can do 1, 3, or 5 K-turn. And if
there's a TIE Interceptor, I think.
Yeah. It'd be funny when that's it. 1 K-turn.
Unfortunately, TIE Interceptors can't field astromechs, but if they could, that would be pretty funny. Now, we have room for titles, and that's actually the last category. The 2 that you picked, ST-321 Lambda-class shuttle. When acquiring a target lock, you may lock onto enemy ships in the onto any enemy ship in the play area. So beyond range 3, you could target them all the way across
the. There was a card. There's another Lambda-class shuttle title that we'd have, but it was a good one. I really wanted, but we don't have it.
We don't have it? What do you mean we don't have it?
We don't have that title. There's 2 titles for this guy, but.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, but we don't have the other one. Oh. I don't know where to get it.
Oh, okay. It might have been a special reward for tournaments. I don't know. Dauntless, V2-49 decimator only. After you execute a maneuver that causes you to overlap another ship, you may perform 1 free action, then receive 1 stress token. So basically, ram the heck out of your opponent with the Dauntless. That's what this is all about. So is that why you like it? Because you can get up close and personal with enemy ships?
Yep, pretty much. Okay.
I picked the Moldy Crow. It's a Hawk 290 title. During the end phase, do not remove unused focus tokens from your ship. Again, with Moldy Crow's ability in conjunction with like Recon Specialist and some other cards, you can pass those focus tokens on to someone else that might need them.
And just keep hoarding them. So.
Yeah. You have like 15 focus tokens by the end of the game.
Like, I don't need all these focus.
There's nothing wrong with that. Finally, Outrider. The Y2-2400 only title. Basically, with this card equipped, you cannot use your primary weapon. However, you can use your secondary heavy weapon, or whatever it is, like the heavy laser cannon, for example. You can shoot that in a 360-degree firing arc without being limited to...
the ion cannon. It'd be like the ion cannon.
Oh yeah, you could use the ion cannon. Yeah.
I'm sure there'd be one ranked to 3.
That'd be just to be an ion cannon turret at that point.
Yeah, but it does 1 to 3 though, instead of 1 to 2.
So yeah, those are our favorite titles. So I think that concludes this particular video. Let us know in the comments below what your favorite upgrade cards are. If you haven't already, check out my official website, www.dadsgamingaddiction.com. Subscribe if you haven't already. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. Oh, Vince and Vinny Jr. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Fly casual.